I'm Tom Scottis, reporting for St. Gabriels Newsroom. We're at the Columbus Centre in Thunder Bay, Ontario. The Students for Life are hosting their annual banquet. They're raising money for their annual March for Life. And I'm with Joseph Wenzel of Thunder Bay Students for Life. Joseph is going to be going to the annual March for Life in Ottawa, and I have a few questions for you today, Joseph.
Yes, Tom.
The first one is, what would you say to pregnant women who are considering an abortion?
Well, the first thing I'd probably mention is there are a lot of different options, but I would definitely encourage them to encourage choosing life and to go to some of the resources that we have available for them, and probably they'll find that the best option for them would be to choose life and not to go the abortion road.
And what would you say to young people concerning the issue of abortion?
Well, it's a really, really difficult issue. It's in Canada, it's really hard to bring up, and I would really like to encourage all young people that they fill themselves with knowledge about what abortion means and what it means to be pro-life or pro-choice. And for a lot of times, an issue with Canadian youth is that maybe they don't understand what an abortion means in Canada, or even our laws actually surrounding abortion. So I definitely encourage them to become better equipped with fully understanding what an abortion means.
Now, you're going to Canada's capital. What would you say to politicians? If you met a politician on the street during your march, what would you say to him concerning this issue?
Well, the first thing I'd tell him to do is to look around. He's going to see 15,000 mostly new voters who are going to be totally concerned with what it means to be pro-life and whether or not that politician is going to encourage pro-life initiatives in Canada. It's different than it has been in the past. The March for Life has increased in number every year for the past 5 years now. So there are going to be more and more people who are voting pro-life, and it's not going to be a taboo. It's going to be something that's actually going to generate voters in the future.
I'm with Mariah Harvey, who will be going to Ottawa for the annual March for Life. Mariah, what would you say to pregnant women who are considering an abortion?
The first thing I would say to pregnant women who are considering an abortion is, would you like to see an ultrasound? Have you considered seeing an ultrasound? Because studies have shown or suggested that as soon as the mom sees her baby and sees her little baby moving around, and that it's actually that those cells are actually a human being, they are much more likely to be open to hearing about the fact that it's a baby and hearing about other options.
Now, in Ottawa, you just might bump into some politicians. What would you say to them concerning this issue?
To politicians, that's a very interesting question. I had to think about it a little bit. I would say, first of all, what's your views? I just opened the conversation. What is your views on abortion? Just like that, if they said, oh, I don't want to talk about it. Well, did you know that? And get into the did you know, is because I find a lot of my friends, at least, like even ones who are pro-abortion or don't want to talk about it, as soon as they start saying that, did you know that third trimester abortions occur so often? Did you know all these different facts about the baby inside of women as it's developing? All of a sudden, they start talking to you, and you can have that conversation. So if you just go and say, hey, you should be pro-life, they're probably going to run the other way.
Now, you have a lot of friends, I'm sure. Probably most of them are pro-choice, at least initially. Mm-hmm. And I hear that you've had some success in changing their minds. Now, what would you say to pro-choice young people?
Again, the first thing I like to say is bring it up casually. Did you know that abortion is legal in Canada as long as the baby has 1 foot left in the womb? You know, start with really broad things that are just atrocious, right? Because most human beings understand that a baby that's already outside of the womb is a baby, and that's wrong to kill it. So start with big, open, obvious atrocities, and then from there get a little. Again, I love the did you knows, because you don't sound like you're attacking them. You sound like you're just trying to have a comfortable conversation. And again, once that conversation starts, then you can start talking about abortion, and you can start talking about the other options.
Well, Mariah, thank you very much on behalf of St. Gabriel's, and I hope you have a really good trip to Ottawa.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited.
I'm impressed by the number of young people who are involved in the pro-life movement. What do you have to say to young people who are pro-choice?
Well, now is a great time to switch over. We are in high demand for youth, but we have a lot of youth. So being a pro-life youth makes a lot of sense. Great time for building, great time for community. I would also tell anyone that's a youth who's pro-choice to really think about their stance and to really discern about why is that their stance. I would ask them to do more investigation about it and to really see the facts and the truths about what abortion is.
Johnny, on behalf of St. Gabriel's, I hope you and the group have a great trip to Ottawa.